welcome back. Welcome to this dumbbell workout. We are going to be using a goblet squat. So for those of you who are unfamiliar, when we do a goblet squat, we take one dumbbell, we use the heels of the hands and we hold it nice and close to the chest like this. And then we squat down, trying to keep that weight as close to us as possible so it doesn't tip us forward. So we're staying relatively upright like that. So we're going to use a goblet squat and we're going to skill develop it using different variables, but we're going to start off with body weight. You will also need a block or a thick book, but again, that's optional. So just see what we do with that, and then you can decide whether you want to use it or not. And imagining that you are stood on a clock face, so I will be on my hub. I'll call out the numbers, but if that is too difficult for you, I'll also use references of the clock face. So we're going to be using 12, sort of between 1 and 2, 3, between 4 and 5. We've got 6 o'clock at the back, and then going back round between 7 and 8, 9, between 10 and 11, and then back up to 12. So you could mark those out on the floor around you with objects, or you can just imagine that clock face. I will get confused between the two because I normally do. But we'll start off with body weight just to ease ourselves in. So starting off with just some basic squats and nothing too deep or adventurous for the time being. Play around with foot position. Do you like to squat wide? Do you prefer a narrower squat? Do you like to point your feet? Do you like to point your toes? Just playing around with that. Now mine seems to change every day. Sometimes I like to be here. Other days I prefer to be out here. Depends what's going on really. So just some nice squats. Just to let the body know that this is what's happening. That's it. I'm just going to leave my hands up here nice and high because that is where I'm going to be holding my weight. Okay, let's have 2 more. Perfect. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to squat, and when we're in the bottom of that squat, we're going to move one of our feet to a number. So we'll start on the right leg. So again, this is just us getting used to the movement that we're then going to load with dumbbell. So we're going to squat down and we're going to move right leg towards 12, which is 2 for me. So I'm going to do it when I'm down here. I'm going to move it and then I'm going to stand up and bring it back to where it was. So I'll show you that again. I'm going to squat down. It will require you to lean into the left leg, to move that leg, to move the right leg to where it needs to be. So we're going to move right leg to 12, which is 2 for me, 3, which will be your 1 and 2, 5, which is your 3 o'clock. We're going to move it round this way. So we're going to keep the foot facing the same way, or whatever feels comfortable, because no one wants to wear their foot backwards for this. Down here to between 4 and 5, and then back to 6. And all that will require you to lean into that left leg, like that, to then move that leg out and come back up and bring it back. So we're going to go all the way around 5 different points, moving the right leg. We're going to do that twice, then we'll switch over and do the left leg. So again, just getting ourselves used to these movements for now. So here we go. Leaning and stand. You'll notice you'll have to push more through that left leg. And it's got to take way more of the load. So we're sort of turning a 2-legged squat into a single-legged squat a little bit. Lovely. Back to the start. Take your time. Oh, I missed one. And all the way around to 6 o'clock. Perfect. Let's have the left leg having a go at doing some moving. Lean into the right. Bringing that foot back to the start each time. Once more on that left leg, then we're going to load it. There we go. So you might have noticed that you lost some range of motion. I definitely did when it came to moving that leg, because my body knew I was going to have to move one leg, so I'm not going to squat as low. That's absolutely fine. Now, if you want to, you can stick there. You don't have to load it, but if you'd like to, medium to light dumbbell is all we're going to need. And of course, if you repeated this workout, you could always up the weight each time you repeated it. But if this is your first time, just moderate to light. I've got 5 kilograms if anybody is wondering what I've got. So we're going to do that right leg again, 2 times round, a little break, and then switch to the left leg. So here we go. Squatting down, move it and bring it up, return. Now towards 1 to 2 o'clock, bringing it up. Six o'clock now. That's it, I'm going to do that again. So now that we've got the weight, it's going to try and pull us forward. So we've got to work really hard to keep that chest as upright as possible. Again, you might find that you've lost more range. Totally normal. Let's go again. Really emphasizing the push through that left leg to stand back up. Nice. Little relax. Grab a sip of water. And then we're going to do the left leg 2 times over. Here we go. Let's see what my left leg is made of. Again, remembering to lean into the leg that is not doing the moving to move, and then really emphasizing that leg pushing the load back up. Here we go. 12 o'clock first. Between 10 and 11, which is my 1. to 9 o'clock. Seven and 8, and then 6 o'clock. Nice. Left leg again. Right glute is working really hard. I can definitely feel it. It feels slightly different depending on where that left leg goes. Perfect, right, just drop that weight for a second and I'll show you what we're going to do with our block. Now you can stick with what we've just done with the dumbbell and leave the block out of it. For those of you who'd like to try something a little bit different, we are going to keep our stationary foot still on the block while still moving the other one. So setting that up so that it is your normal squat stance. This leg's going to get way more flexion in the ankle, knee and hip as we squat down. I'm still going to move and then I'm still going to push through that one to come back up. And I'm going to lift this leg all the way off the floor to bring it back round. Squatting down, moving, bringing it up. I'm going to do that loaded. You could do that without the weight if you wanted to try it without the weight first. I'm going to go straight in with my dumbbell and we're going to go round, one of each, and then we're going to change where the block's going to be. And here we go. Take it nice and slow, nice and easy. Squatting down normally, lean into that leg, move, bring it up. And again. That one was a lot. Whatever you do use under your foot, make sure it's nice and sturdy. This block is not the best, if I'm honest. It's actually not big enough for my foot and it's a bit high, but it's all I have. It's all I've got at the moment. So we just make do. Perfect. Swap where that block is. I could really feel that here, that extra flexion for the hip. But you might have felt something different. Here we go. Left leg's turn to move. Right leg's turn to get the extra flexion. Right leg's a lot happier to spring me out of that bottom position. It's a lot harder than it looks. If you're doing it, you'll obviously know. Perfect. Drop that weight. Have a little relax, have a little sip of water. Oh, do you know what we should have done? We should have tested our goblet squat at the beginning, rated it out of 10, and then tried it again at the end to see if it had improved, but I completely forgot. Never mind. All right, we're going to do one more. We're just going to stick with 1 foot position. We're going to stick with this wide one because it is the easier one to get to. And you've probably guessed what's coming. We're going to squat down and then we're going to load that foot onto the block and bring it up. 3 on this leg, 3 on the other leg, and then we're done. And we'll see if that goblet squat has improved. You might be able to notice a difference between how you started. Let's have a go. Squatting down, on. Perfect, bring it back. One more. Wonderful. Other side. Three on this side, let's go. And again. That made my heart race way more than I was expecting. So there are your exercises. If you'd like to play the video again and do them all again, more than welcome. This would be a great thing to tack onto the beginning of a workout before you then went for your heavier sets of normal goblet squat. And it would also be great as a way to finish, just if you want to play a few games with a few variables, or it's great as a standalone workout. So use it as you wish. But let's just test that goblet squat, shall we? I don't really know how low I was going to begin with, but let's see. Let's see if that has improved at all. Well, it may have. I definitely felt like I was going lower than when I demonstrated to begin with, and it felt a lot nicer. It felt a lot more smooth and a lot more easy. So if you now wanted to perform some sets of goblet squat with a heavier weight, you could do that now without the variables. But well done if you got through that and that you tried all those with an open mind. Have a lovely rest of your day. If you've got any questions about any of the exercises, do let me know. Drop me a message or a comment and I'll get back to you. But yeah, I'm quite out of breath. Have a good one, everyone.